What's up, everybody? Back at you with another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Bringing the DMI guy back, man. We're bringing Scotty back. We're going to talk about some of the things that involve the Aryan Brotherhood versus the DMI and the Maryland Department of Corrections. I think it's going to be a good one. People wanted a part two, so that's what we're here for. Scotty, man, I'm just going to kick it off, man, the way that I think it needs to be kicked off today. Dudes were hitting us up on the comments. You know, some people made smart comments where, the DMI guys were nothing but a bunch of junkies. Hey, the DMI guys, they were the BGF do boys, and, they got into the race. There's some dudes that shot some racial things out there. I deleted some of the comments, whatever, because that ain't the place for it. You know what I mean? But let's just clarify a couple things, man. DMI was well known in the Maryland system and respected, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Were they respected because of the violence that you guys unleashed?
Most definitely. To clarify, the fact that we were job loosely affiliated with the BGF. I'm not going to say that it didn't help both organizations in the long run through cooperative economics and through security. As far as the security details and things of that nature. Imagine that the strongest white organization and the strongest black organization together, moving. Everybody's going to hate. Of course, they're going to hate.
Listen, it happens like that, man. You know what I mean? And that's how it was with the dirty white boys in the federal system. Like, they were the top dudes, man, in the federal system, right? So all the other white gangs that came behind, they hated the DWBs. We hate dirty white boys. They're scumbags. They're this. But that's because they were at the top of the food chain. But like you said, you guys had an alliance with the BGF, whatever. There isn't a lot of racial politics over there, so to speak. But isn't that what countries do all over the place?
That's for economics, man. We did. When we wanted something, we went to them. If we had to scoop something, to make some money, we went to them. If they wanted tattoos, they come to us. It was give and take, man. In the beginning, we went on missions together. Two black guys, two white guys. We go. And just to put it out there, DMI is not and was never a racially biased organization. We have African American, black, dogs. We have Native American. We have Spanish. We have Filipino. We have Jimmy Chin. He's Asian, bro. You know what I mean? You don't see many Asian guys at all that much in state systems. I mean, they have big ones in the feds, but the state systems, you don't see it. And we had a few of them in that, man. And I think their diversity is what gave us strength.
And, you hear a lot of stuff about, like, Tommy Silverstein, and he had a Jewish last name. How could he be in the Aryan Brotherhood? A lot of people believe, and I believe this to be true, he was adopted. But you're also Jewish, right? I see the flag in the back. What was it like for you to be Jewish and be in a predominantly white gang?
I mean, dudes say little things under their breath, man, this, that, and third. But, the only people that had a problem with it really was the so-called ABM, as they later were called. In the beginning, they were just odious. And they had some thorough cats, don't get it twisted. I mean, some of these dudes were serious, Curly, shout out to him. I respect him. I might not deal with politics, but I respect him as a soldier. I mean, the man put a lot of work in. Same thing with a couple of them other cats, man. Some of them dudes were dangerous, but for the most part, they weren't official. Their head guy ended up Nazi Joe. He ended up getting dealt with, by his own because he had his paperwork wasn't right. See, in the state system, a lot of them dudes, man, they slide in there sometimes, bro. And it ain't like the feds where they gotta have, hey man, your statutes have to be like this, and did you proffer, then you proffer, blase. In the state system, you gotta do a thorough investigation. You gotta get somebody that goes up in that courthouse, in the basement, in Annapolis, and pulling details out.
Do you feel like people go out of their way, man, to do that stuff? They're like, we're about to, that's a lot of work to go down here and do all that. It's easy to be lazy, but are you guys looking for that stuff, man, when you're initiating someone in? Or are you looking like, man, we're about to crush this dude, man. We got to find something on this cat.
Well, listen, like I know, you don't need much to throw some dirt on somebody's name, man, And let me just say, dude, it's I call these dudes parrots because they hear something and they got to repeat it. You know what I mean? So these parrots, are in every organization. They hear something, and the more they speak it, the more velocity they give to it, the more truth, the more real it becomes. Because they're constantly just repeating. Yeah, I heard he wasn't right. I heard he wasn't right. What did he do? Oh, I don't know. I just heard he wasn't right. And when I had a little bit of say so, a little bit of an arm, at one point, I made it clear that backbiting is a form of treason. Because what you're doing is you're slandering your brother's name, and when you do that, if you point a knife at one member of any organization, it's an act of war. It is. So if you talk bad about somebody internally against them and you don't have any proof, and you can't produce proof within 30 days, you already know what it is. So with that being said, that's treason when you go against your own. You feel me? So I don't want to sound like I'm from Florida, but you feel me? So anyway, a little inside joke for all the real fans out there, to watch your show. But
you
anyway,
feel me?
Yeah, right. I like that dude. He's cool. Yeah. But anyway, point is, man, yeah, we looked into our stuff. I still say we because I'm not in. I'll clarify that I'm retired. We'll probably get into that maybe if we have time. But yeah, man, we look into ours, man. We look into ours thoroughly. We have a whole, we did at one point. I don't know if they're doing now, but we had a whole big, group of people that did nothing but that.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
It's kind of hard now with a computer and to get case numbers, and then you just go down face to face, and you can get transcripts.
Let me ask you this: has DMI faded out in the system?
I haven't been in the system in years now. I've been home since 2013. So I've been on the street longest I've ever been on the street. So since I've been 19 years old, man. So with that being said, I could say this: they hit a peak, they hit a plateau, they hit a glass ceiling, and until they start looking at things with a little bit more of a evolve or be extinct, some dinosaur thinking. You either like any other organism on this planet, you either evolve or you become extinct. Because if you think your environment's forever changing, if you don't change with it, then it's going to beat you down every time. And you can't keep going you can't keep running into these brick walls and don't think that it's not going to mess you up in the long run, man. You got to start thinking differently. You have to start navigating around this machine that's against this global prison system that's just. I mean, the United States has what, 1.5 million people. We have more people in prison than any country in the world, and yet we're the freest. We're the epitome of democracy in the eyes of the world.
I want to ask you a little bit about the Aryan Brotherhood and DMI. There ended up being a beef over there. One of your homeboys ends up dead. You kind of tell him like, "Yo, bro, get up out of there. Do what you got to do. Hook off on one of them dudes and skate." And he don't listen, and he ends up dead. Let's talk a little bit about that, man. How did that whole Aryan Brother and DMI thing start?
Yeah, let me rewind it back, the origin of that. At one point, Big Slim, Big Rock Ferry, big homie, he was out back. He didn't have too many dudes that were out there he had dudes that he trusted, that he had been bitten around, like Chris Mills. His brother was Ralph Mills. They were heavy into that AB organism, white boy, white power, thing, and Big Slim is absolutely the opposite of that. He hung around with black dudes. He tried to become a J, BGF, and this, that, and the third. And he had guys moving for him. So, and they were affiliated with a bunch of different stuff. So the soccer game happens. Dude tells AB dude uh, SMD, suck his dick. And he's like, look, man, whoa, you're gonna have to back that up. I'm on an apology. You got 24 hours to apologize to him. Well, then Slim put it off because jail was slow, moving around. Something had happened in another block. He said, look, I'll give him 3 days. He's got 3 days to apologize to me. And then if he don't, when I see him, it's on. So, Chow Hall, I was behind the door when this happened. So I wasn't down there. I was another space. But I was on my way down there. So, this is when I got there. This is when everybody that was there, they gave me a war report. This is what happened. And then I watched the footage. So the police was quick to say, yeah, man, some of your people. And they put them out there. They turned the computer around and walked out. While they played this shit. Maryland's a little different, man. Them police ain't, they a little different in Maryland. So, not that I condone dealing with them. Don't get it twisted. But they are quick to let you know, man, if your people ain't right, they quick to put them out. Obviously, for reasons. They were trying to break you up, trying to get you to implode. But anyway, so something happened, man. Thing jumps off, Chow Hall 3, I think it was. 3, yeah. The end Chow Hall. So, down there. And, dude named 6ix9ine from the Eastern Shore, man, he gets chopped up real bad, man. And another cat. And one of their famous celebrity dudes, you might know him, Mikey Quinn, man. He was in there with another cat, and he was throwing apples and milks at these dudes, man. So he's in line. When you go in there, man, it's like any other chow hall, man. You got the outside, you got the tables, you got the line going this way, drinks over there. So when you come in with the door, they cattle you in one door. You're going around. So he's in line in a group of people that came in. These other dudes are already sitting down. They locked the other door. Because once you're in there, you're in there. So this is at the end of the line of the housing unit. So they lock that door. As soon as they lock that door, it jumps off. The dude catches the dude that told him to suck his dick in there. And he starts going to work on this dude. And he's hitting him, man. And it was from the camera view what I saw. Because like I said, I wasn't my good eye wasn't there to use, I had 2 eyes back then, so. But anyway, I didn't see it, face to face. I just saw him seen on camera. So, the dude, man, he was getting work put in, man. And the dude 6ix9ine was there. He was gunning these dudes out, man. And I gotta give it to 6ix9ine, man. To go against 2, cocky dudes. 6ix9ine was real tall, obviously. 6ix9ine. And he was throwing them hammers, man. And he was putting these dudes and keeping them up off them for a minute. Which I don't know if you've been in some shit, Chad. So you know when you're getting hit and you're throwing, you're teeing off and you're getting hit, boom here and hit and there. It feels like you get one lung hit or one side of rib hit, and it feels like your lungs collapse sometimes. But it's hard to fight just with your hands. Imagine getting hit and still putting up a fight. Well, this dude 6ix9ine almost bled out, man. And by the grace of God, the police said, I'm not waiting for them to cuff him up. He stuck fingers in holes and got a couple other police to drag this dude up to medical. And Mikey's there throwing apples and milk to these dudes, man.
So Mikey wasn't down there working. He was just throwing apples?
He was throwing apples and milks, man, on the tables. Cats, they getting up. Well, cats got the apple and milk sitting together because that's, you stoop, you know how it goes. You stoop. Down there, they didn't give any spoons out because, ain't nobody turning them in. You know what I mean? And they're not going to chase a Max dude down over a spoon. Because when the police come, they're coming 15 deep. They won't even approach you. It's like a Walmart thing down there. They can't even approach you, man, one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? When you're leaving the store, they want to stop. They can't even stop you on the walk one-on-one down there, bro. You know what I mean? They got to come at you with a whole team. So it was serious down there. And anyway, they put some work in on my man. He almost dies. So it's on now, statewide. Well, everywhere I go, I'm like, yo, look for this, and this. This is what we're looking for. These, here, and some of them we got up at us, some we didn't. Well, let's fast forward now. I think it was Pick, rest in peace. Pick, I think he got. I don't want to do this man wrong by getting the dates mixed up. So my memory's bad. So let's just say I'm thinking it was somewhere between 16 and 18, 2016 and 2018. He's back down the same institution, Maryland House Correction Annex, known as Jessup Correctional Institute now, and JCI. So he's down there, man, and something happened jumped off. I was uptown. Dude called me from the joint. Hey, yo, SB, boom, this, something, dude, bang, 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 bang. All right, man. Well, look, I don't do that. I don't give anybody. I've never given an order ever. I'm not dumb. I've never given a direct order ever. Never given an order. I give advice. I say, look, if it was me, I would do this. This is how I would handle it. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying this is what I would do, and I leave it at that. If they want to do what they're gonna do, they're gonna do it. So, boom. So the dudes up in Cumberland, they get with this AV dude. You know what I mean? And they doing bad, man. They hit him up really good. Dude's clinging to life. He's fucked up. I know I have about 24 hours at best to get word to my peoples down there to save lives at this point, because they got a nice little. They moved now. Before that, when I was up Cumberland, when I was over on the compound side at WCI, before I got moved to level 2 max, level 1, level 2 max over at North Branch. It's one big giant jail, but it's just got a multi-purpose building in the middle of it. North Branch is pretty much locked down penitentiary. WCI is like a max joint. It's like the annex, but out in Jessup. But it's wide open, bro. It's wide fucking open. Everything you want is there. It's the penitentiary.
Listen, let me stop you for 1 second, Scotty. Scott, let me stop you for 1 second.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a large presence of Aryan Brotherhood members in the Baltimore correctional system?
I'm not going to say Lord, but in Cumberland, there was a point where these dudes started breathing under my nose, and I had Joe, you ain't supposed to be doing this. Your man Arizona that came from out of state, Outback, told you you're not to be breathing in Maryland, and y'all had an agreement down there with our big homie and some other organizations that you weren't doing that. Y'all were just practicing the right to be white where you want to be, how you want to be. That's it. Gotta respect that. They can be white wherever they want to be. They can hate where they want to hate. That's on them. They can hate me because I'm Jewish. I don't care. That's on them. So, he didn't take the opportunity there to kill me. So I made it out of there. And, there at that point they had, in that one institution, they had about 8 dudes. Now, for them guys, if they have 25, 30 dudes throughout the system, that's a lot in Maryland for them. Maryland's a big system, but compared to us, who have, I don't even know how many it was at one point. I know we really average usually about between 50 and 250 every jail, medium and max. So, you do the math, bro, as far as that. But I mean, they're it's like I say, man, you only need a handful of really thorough dudes. You don't need 50 dudes. You know what I mean? But it helps at some point. So yeah, they had a nice little thing going on. So they were all in one area though. They like to keep them dudes together because there ain't that many of them. So they get to keep their eyes on them, and to keep them there because they saw what DMI did. They basically DMI popped up in 03, and by 03 there's maybe 40 guys throughout Maryland, and the system and some of these jails, the county jails and stuff, and city jails.
So anyway, you're trying to get a message into the people like, yo, they hit one of our people. You're probably in a danger zone around all them Aryan Brotherhood members.
You gotta go. You gotta get out of there. Whack the dude or regroup. I'll send somebody down there out and get it. This is remote town. Yo, go in there, go with him, move with him, or go whack him while I'm right now, or do what you gotta do. But I said all this in code. I said, do what you got to do just to keep yourself safe. Whatever you want to do it. Go deal with them or go fucking, go move up there. I said, but I want to get this off my conscience and off my hands right now. I'm warning you, a shitstorm's coming your way. You're in a house unit where it's just you and 8 of them. They waited for a man to come back from service, knowing where he come back when he went up to the service, got some Suboxone, comes back. He's trying to run back in the building real quick because they leave the doors open for the shower stuff. His cell buddy had something kind of set him up a little bit because he was in a cell without. He wasn't in a cell with one of his own. He was in a cell with another white guy who fucks with the ABs. So, he goes ahead and sets my man up, man. Keeps the door open. Them dudes walk down there, and now my man fought at the cell. And got hit on the chair, man, and died there. The Africans stood there, and they wouldn't go in there because they had some choppers, man. They had some shit.
When you say the Africans, hold on now. When you say the Africans, you mean the cops, because there's a bunch of African cops that are working down there.
African SEALs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The police, the African police. I'm not talking about blacks.
Okay. So the dude Selly sets him up. I mean, this happens. This is prison, federal prison, state prison. Dude sets him up, leaves the door open. The ABs walk in and they massacre this kid.
Pretty much. He fought for a while, man. He just didn't have enough blood left in his body to keep fighting.
And that was the DMI kid. That was the DMI kid that you told, hey, man. He says, nah, I'm good. Don't trip, bro. I'm good. And he ends up dead.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to the pick, man. Rest in peace.
Was that the coffin that you were carrying in that picture?
No, it was. I did go to his wake. He was from all the way down in near DC in Waldorf, down that way. I think it's Charles County or something like that. All the way down there, man.
When you sent me that picture, you were carrying a coffin, right? Who was that died?
That was I call him my little bro. Big shout out to Munchie. One of my best friends in the world, man. That was his mother died, and he couldn't be there, so he asked me, and his whole family's damn so all his brothers, his cousins, all that shit. So he asked me to go there, man, and his family asked me would I step in for him because mine and his, our friendship. It's my man. That's my ride or die homeboy. You know what I mean? On the streets, in the joint, whatever. And so I put his mother in the ground for him, and I had a good relationship with his mom. She said, "You remind me of my Steven so much." She was a good lady, man.
That's one thing about you, bro. Like, you're out here, and I know it's not easy. It's a struggle every day, but you're still trying to help dudes in there, looking out for people. You're retired from whatever you were involved in, organization, whatever they want to call it. But, man, really, man, you're still reaching back and trying to help people still in prison, right?
Yeah, man. I'm trying, on a smaller scale, I'm trying to do, like, sort of how you're doing, man. I want these kids to know I got a nephew right now sitting in Baltimore County Jail, man, facing life, man, for a body. And he goes to court next week, man. And it's crazy, but he'll be all right, man. The evidence alone, he'll be all right, man. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That happens. That happens a lot.
I know you said that you had both eyes back then. What happened to your eye?
I got, all right, this is funny. 3 things about Maryland. When they put you in lockup, they give you them little toothbrushes, right? Put you in max, they take your toothbrush away. There's a lawsuit for a lot of dudes that get, I had 5 years on lockup and day for day for a ticket. And then I had admin after that, admin therapy. They weren't gonna let me on the compound because I had too much pool at one point. And I think things through, so they didn't like that. They didn't like somebody who could think a little bit. So they give you them little toothbrushes, and everybody that was on that lockup, we all come to this conclusion that we had teeth in the back when we got here, but after 3 years of using this little toothbrush, they're starting to decay because you can't clean them properly. You know what I mean? And then the constant prison lockdowns, they come and they take all your cosmetics, they put it in a bag, and they give you bag cosmetics. They didn't let us go to the store one time for anything for like 8 months. Not even cosmetics, which is illegal. But they was giving us these care packages each week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a little teeny state toothpaste, little teeny deodorant. And on top of you being in a maximum security joint and locked up, everybody smelled it. Because the bird baths in between them every shower every couple of days. It's like down in North Branch, you're not getting an hour a day. The only way you're getting an hour a day is in a unit when the jail's open. You get an hour a day, but North Branch, you still don't get an hour a day. You get 5 hours a week. You get an hour a day Monday through Friday. But anyway, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to this AB. I'll make it short. The ABC. So basically, my man gets killed. The first thing happens, they hit us. The second thing happens, my man gets killed. Now, in between all that, there was some mild skirmishes. We was putting them out of every compound. We was getting them out of there, just getting them out of there. They hit the compound the last day, we get them out of there. And they all regrouped in max because they all ended up. A lot of these dudes, they wouldn't even bring them home unless they had 25 years to life better. They had to be, they had to have a big bit to become AB. They had all these different guidelines. So, these dudes were all in max. So when the dog, when the dog was DMI, when they were hitting these max compounds, that's where it all went down. So, I don't want to sit here and make everybody think that they were just wrecking us because it wasn't going down like that. They got two big pieces of work in on us. The original thing that kicked it off where they hit my man 6'9" up real good, and then the last thing with Pitt. And ever since then, the system has everybody on keep separate time. You know what I mean? It's like they're all in one jail and they let the dogs be in a different. That's just how they're doing it. So when they see other on the court run, they see them where they see them. It goes on the way it goes on. It's an on-site thing now. From the last time that I heard,
So what happened to your eye? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I had cataracts.
Okay, it wasn't from the ABs or nothing, right?
Yeah, I got sometimes. So, sunglasses, they don't sell them on commissary. You got to order them out. They won't let you order real dark ones because they say the BGF has a thing where they a certain rank gets to wear it because it's something they're just shining or it's some type of message that's some bullshit. They just don't want nobody to have these sunglasses. They just don't want you to have sunglasses. One less thing they got to do. They're lazy.
Yeah.
So, I had my eyes. I got my eyes. They don't dilate like properly. So they're always very small. It looks like I'm on Suboxone permanently. You know what I mean? So my eyes are always pinpoint. Whether I'm peeing clean or not. You know what I mean? They're pinpoint. And so the sun was getting right in there, man. Smashing my eye up, and I ended up with cataracts.
All right, so listen, I know you wanted to clarify a couple things, right? From the last interview, some of the homies reached out to you like, yo, bro, tell the people what you want to clarify.
Real quick, man, North Branch is like this. You have, once you're at a certain, you're either level 1 max or level 2 max. Mental health tier is, they do have a mental health tier, but they use that for torture. They have 4 or 5 really messed up dudes around there that do the cell banging all night. Fuck you, all night, kicking the doors, slinging shit. You know the gambit.
Yeah.
So
hate it.
I had words with a CO, and he stuck a crazy dude on either side. I mean, they were pumping shit in my vents all night. They were literally pumping shit. They wiped shit on their walls. They shit in their toilet. They wouldn't flush. So they were in there for a good 4 or 5 days with a trash bag every time they would shit. They're putting the shit in a trash bag and they're saving it. And then finally when they got enough, in the toilet again, they just start smearing and doing the shit that they do. And then they started pumping this shit in the vent. And I had a subway at the time, and man, it was the worst, man. I was getting sick. My eyes were running, his eyes and nose were running. It was terrible. Between that and the mace, I'd rather take the mace any day. But anyway, dude was on the dude. When I said the last time about the dude, Mr. Rick, getting chopped up by his cell buddy, he was on the coop. Yeah, he was on the coop. He's only a couple cells down. It's the way it is. They got dudes on the coop. They got mental health. If you're on lockup, you're on lockup. It don't matter where he's with you. If you're on admin, it don't matter. They'll stitch you anyway. You know what I mean? It's just if you're wreck alone, walk alone, you know what they are. That's it. That's all. That's the only thing different.
Well, I know you wanted to clarify that. So look, man, I know we talked a little bit about you being out of that whole organization life because you're allowed to retire. I mean, they let you retire from a gang, bro, from an organization?
I put it to you like this. It was unprecedented. I was sitting in a pretty high seat, and I talked to the other brethren, and I told them, man, I said, look, man, I'm in a different place. Like I've been home 10 years, right? I'm pushing 50. You know what I mean? And nothing has changed. Like, you guys aren't evolving, and we're going in two different directions. And if I can't be 100% in it, I can't be in it at all. It's all or nothing. It's just something I refuse to half-step any of that. Because you half-step something like that, you end up dead. And I'm not going to do that. Not to mention, all this work I put in. Now, rather than be a dropout, it's like this. They say, look, man, it's what it is. Your name is always going to be respected by those that respect you. There's no putting work in. You don't got to put the work in. You're always going to be there. Like you're retired. With that meaning we're not going to call on you for anything. You willingly giving up your seat that the seat that I had was given to me by the founder, and it was a permanent seat, and I willfully gave it up, and I put a lot of work into this. I put my life into it, but you can't serve two masters. You can't promote peace and promote change and everything else, and then wreak havoc on at the same time.
No doubt. I think that's kind of what your message should be today. You know what I mean? You can't serve two masters. You're living a different life, man. You're free. You've been free a long time, thank God. I know you got some kids there, and you're married, and you're trying to live your best life. And at some point, man, I think that we live this prison life, right, where it's full throttle, man. This is it. This is my life. This is where I'm at, and this is the life that I'm living, no matter what comes with it. This is it. But eventually, man, not even eventually, but in the back of your mind, you always want to get out of jail. You always want to be free. And then when you finally get it, you're like, damn, man, you know what? I'm older now, and I appreciate it, and I don't want to lose that shit, right?
I promise I'll make it quick. Can we take 30 seconds so I can tell this story about the dude Jason Sinclair real quick and the lawsuit? I'll just do it real fast.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my homeboy, one of my best friends, man, like a brother to me, you know what I mean? J-Dog, Jason Sinclair. Spoke to him, he said, yeah, boy. So, he comes in the system, boom, he's from Ocean City, Maryland. He's not from Baltimore. He gets caught up with some dudes from South Baltimore. He's trying to cop, he's out running for the law up here. Something happens, he's trying to cop an 8-ball of crack to sell or something. The connect gets shot or something at the same time he's in the area, along with these other dudes. Long story short, these dudes start flipping on him. They don't know him. He's just some out-of-town guy that came up here to cop. So they all start telling. He told on him. He's the only one who went trial. So he goes to trial. He's like, no, I'm not confident. I didn't do it. I'm not confident. And I'm definitely not taking a plea agreement that's attached to you all. Y'all some rats. I'm not doing it. So he ends up with 50 years. Second degree murder, no weapon, no crime of violence, no assaults, none of that. All that's gone. It's just second degree murder. They don't have a weapon, no DNA evidence. They just have testimony of dudes that were all known. These dudes were all know each other, and they put this guy in jail. So he ends up in a system. He ends up in DMI. They send him from Jessup to Hagerstown, which is like two separate things. Jessup is run by Black Seals, and it's more city. It's more dirty and just insane, wide open, drugs, violence, all that. To Hagerstown, which is run by the police. They're all related. They're all from Hagerstown, Pennsylvania or West Virginia. He goes up there. The police grab him. One day he's drunk. They grab him. It's that wine you always talk about. And they're dragging him across the yard, and other DMI members see it. They see him roughing him up. They run over there and jump on the police. Now, the police gets to digging in their ass because there's a bunch of them. There's only about 7 dogs that are fighting. This is during chow line. So they shut it all down. They take J-Dog that's already in handcuffs up front. They beat him while he's in cuffs. Beat the shit out of him. Throw him in a cell, in cuffs. Leave him there. Middle of the night, they're bringing all the dudes in now. They're fucking dudes up. They're going around the compound, hitting doors. Just fucking DMI dudes up. They're like, bitch, we told y'all, you ain't in Jessup no more. You start fucking these dudes up. Big deal bellies. Just fucking these dudes up. So we take them. I was in a different jail. They put me on admin and all this shit. Because they were afraid where we were going to get over there to me. And I was going to kick some shit off in another jail because I was right across the street in Hagerstown at this point. This happened at Roxbury Correctional Institute. I was at MCPC at the time, Maryland Correctional Training Center in Hagerstown. They were mediums. So I was like, hey, I'm in a medium shit. I'm happy. I'm not trying to make no waves. You know what I mean? So anyway, boom. So in the middle of the night, the SRT guys come down from Cumberland. They grab all these dudes and put them in a white van. They take them up there. One guy don't make it there. Jimbo, who's dead now. He comes home in ODs. Rest in peace, Jimbo. Can't tell you how many funerals I went to the last 2 years. Dudes on that fence. That's a whole different subject. So, man, they take him up there, a group of DMI guys, and they go through. They're like, which one is Sinclair? And this is my old cell buddy, J-Dog. I seen the pictures. I seen the whole case. I seen where his head looked. He didn't look human. The judge said that what they did to him was tantamount to torture. So, in the lawsuit that they had against these dudes, against the system, they took him in a room up north of France. When you come in, there's two hands on the wall, there's 2 feet. You better have your hands and feet in there, or you already know what it is. And they will fuck you up there. So, you take him in there, man, in a 3-piece. He says they come in there and the dude says, don't be scared. He's walking with him now. He said, this is my man telling me. This is what this dude's whispering in his ear. He says, don't be scared. It's going to hurt. It's going to fuck you up real bad. Don't be scared. Don't cry. Don't scream. Don't do nothing. And he spends inside my man's head. He's fucking with him. Takes him in the room. They beat on my man in and out of consciousness. He said it was like 3 or 4 different sets of beatings. He opened his eye up one time, and that's all his other eye was already swelled shut. Then they take him around to another cell, throw him in there for days. In that cell, there's no toilet. There's no nothing. So, another dude that I know from South Baltimore's up there. He's a black guy I know. Shout out to Monk, man. Thanks for what you did. He starts sending his line over and sending him in some food. And he gets the number from his peoples. He calls his peoples for him, on his phone. This is back when you could put numbers on the phone still. Before you had to do all that GTL shit. And in Maryland. And anyway, he calls home for him. Says, look, man, he's here. And they're beating him again. He looks bad. So they call internal affairs. They come up there, state police come up there. They come and get him and take him up front. Immediately emergency transferred him and all the other dudes out of there. They end up with a lawsuit. They all end up down Supermax next to Big Rock. So they all end up getting a total. I think it was like 7 of them or 8 of them. He ended up with $480,000 class act between those two. So there's some type of cap in Maryland where you can only get so much. So they got the max plus some. And right after that, they're investigating all these dudes heavy. Well, that's when the shit happened, and they're getting cell phones in down Supermax. The bitch gets knocked off. She comes right back to work with a clone. The ones that got sent in was like Virgin Mobiles. They ended up with the same number, and it was a singular. That there would have told me there's something wrong. If my people saying, yo, you got 4 Virgins coming to you, and not single man dingles. And then you got a singular, which is a single man dingle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming, you know it's some crazy shit. So they cloned the phones, they send it in there. They got Big Rock on all this talking on the phone. That's what ended up leading up to the indictment. And then they get indicted in 2011. And then all the dudes started going to the Fed system and then start, leaving blood on the razor wire everywhere they go.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, man, when we get ready to close the show, man, I appreciate you coming back on, man, sharing, your story and some of the shit you've been through. And, there's a lot of young dudes out there, man, on the wrong path. And hopefully, like you said, man, you've been to a lot of funerals. It usually ends up in death or prison or, you end up with a life sentence. And the next thing you know, you're sitting in ADX all by yourself, all alone. That gang life really ain't the life, man. But, hey, if people like the show, I tell them, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Hope you enjoyed it. DMI with respect. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.